Da 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 da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. This is the first day after my set of days off that I'm going to work at that job that puts the roof over my head in the moment, right? Grateful for that job that grounds me in a life that keeps me real, right? Keeps me on my toes, keeps me active, and sometimes, quite often, keeps my mind off of compulsing about things that sometimes we have no control over, but because we care, right? Because we noticed, because something is not quite right, it catches our attention and we can become very focused on that, until we can find some resolution. Sometimes that resolution is only us realizing we don't have a say in that, right? I'm on a kind of a expedition in my own life, but there are moments that I create to make myself happy when the struggle might be too hard, or maybe the struggle is just boring and there's no excitement in feeling like I have something to contribute, right? I can be a deficit or I can be an asset. And this is the way I look at my life, right? I have been a deficit for a very large part of this life that, right? I created it. I made those choices. I decided to cope in certain ways, make some decisions rationally, make other decisions on the spur of the moment, flying by the seat of my pants. I've made good decisions and bad decisions. But each one of those decisions, I've taken ownership and I've navigated, understanding that, right? Doesn't matter what decision I make, there are going to be lessons. There are going to be lessons in that, right? And so there really isn't any right or wrong because, right? It's all about the journey, right? You just can't live that talk, or no, you have to walk that talk, right? If you're going to say something that is it's so important, it's so jarring, you better be willing to live by that too. And I try to do that, but I understand also that there are things that are not under my control, like the street construction going on where they're shutting off my bus route. So I've got to leave for work early today to make sure that I catching some bus in order so that I can be at work on time like I should be, right? Not dilly dallying in at my convenience, right? I have to pay back that privilege of, right, having something to ground in, right? It's to keep my mind occupied while the hurry scurry, the crazy town, those things that we have no control of are surrounding us like a tornado and we're sitting right in the eye in it, right? If you ask me, I think I'd kind of move with the eye, right? Just stay in that calmness. But there are no lessons in that calmness. There can be, right? If you're able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and stay in that calm state, in that state of reflection, that state of smiling. We talked yesterday about whistle while you work, but there's sometimes you just can't whistle, right? If your best friend Fido has passed away, right? And not being insensitive to that, you're going to be highly sensitive to that, right? And so you have to experience that, but at the same time, right? how you experience that, it's up to you. I'd much rather be sitting on a bench in a park looking at a river pass me by, remembering all the wonderful times, right? This is the way that I look at it. I understand, right? The way I thinking, as fast as my last breath comes, as fast as my first breath comes. And it maybe desensitizes me a little bit to this idea of death, right? We don't even want to say those words, right? But I'm much happier not waiting for that day to come, not anticipating for that day to come, not focusing all my attention and stressing myself out, and what you think about is realized, right? I like my way, and it works for me. But, right, the real tests are in those lessons of those things that come into our life that put us in those positions to really trust, right, that everything is going to be okay, that you can feel that moment and possibly smile at the next. Come back to that moment and then find a smile in a memory in that sadness or that difficulty of that movement, that little bit. Oh, smart up, right? And you just put that idea to all movement in your life, right? That physical part of us, and just trust that everything is going to be okay, that there's no right way and no wrong way. The only thing is, right, what's the landscape? Do we want to sit in it, right? Right? Do you want to keep moving? Do you want to stay busy in it? Do you want to curl yourself up in a ball underneath the blanket and shut out the world? Do you want to block out all those people that care about you and would love to be with you in their last moments, and possibly their next? No right way, no wrong way, right? Just the landscape that you want to sit in, that feeling that can't help it. We're born into this world surrounding by people, if nothing else, by our own blood, right? And if not that, then maybe somebody who's been like blood, right? I'd much rather look at the happy moments and try to get through it the best that I could, thinking, what would they want me to do? And if I'm surrounding myself with people who kind of feel the way I do, then, right, they would say, carry on, right? I don't know till that moment happens. So, in a little bit of reflection of that. It's not Friday. We'll keep it light tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll keep it light. I was having a moment. I am in myself in that situation where you have to move forward. You have to find a way, and you have to understand that some things are not in your control, right? But what is in my control is that landscape that I put myself in, right? Can I manage to smile through the difficulties, through the worries, right? And not allow myself to be compulsed by those, but only enough to take in a little reflection to realize that, right, this is life. Okay, you guys, it's Thursday. I just wanted to pop in, say hi. You can see it's just being shuffled. It's not any bigger than it was yesterday. It's just being shuffled and added into. So the volume is not changing. It's just a matter of what I can get into those containers. You guys have a great day. See you tomorrow.